and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
Also, I like your hair. It looks very nice.
Thank you. I cut so much off because Kelly likes to pull it.
Oh my God. I like it though. And I love when it
you.
stays styled for a while after. Oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Isn't it nice? Didn't have to do anything to it this morning. I just brushed it.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Oh my God. Did you dye it a little too or no?
I did. I got it like touched up a little bit with the red at the top.
At the top. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I could see it. I like it. That's what I wanted to
Yay.
confirm.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Well, welcome to Park Pals. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for waiting another week for the part 2 of it. There was just so much to do, but we're just going to dive right in. So this is part 2 of Win, Lose, or Draw, and this was written and directed by Mike Schur. I'm just going to pick up right where we left off. In the last episode, I wanted to mention, so we mentioned that Chris asks Jen to maybe continue this on a casual basis. And this is where also I had mentioned last week that there's an actor named Drew Roush in this episode who asks Jen if she wants to take a look at the numbers. And she's like, no. I totally forgot that I had recorded this already, or this deleted scene, and I did not even play it for you. So let me go ahead and play it for you. It's very short, and it basically already does what I said, but I think it's fun to hear.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we could keep this going, even though you're going to be in Washington, D.C.? I mean, on a casual basis, of course.
Let me think that over.
Hey, the latest numbers just came in. Do you want to take a look at these?
Think so.
Yeah. You just got to hear Catherine's delivery.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's exactly right.
When you watch that, because we're listening to it, do you see her, like, is she actually going to think about it, or is she like just placating him?
I feel like her face is like kind of like flirty, like real flirty. You know, it's like, let me think about it. It's not like, let me think about it. It's not sarcastic or whatever. I think that lends itself to at the end when she's like, oh, I didn't get a chance to say bye to Chris. Like, a part of me feels like that's, I don't know, maybe, but it's not the majority genuine. It's like 5% genuine. It's nowhere near even 50% genuine. I think she's just saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just because it seems like such a illogical request.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, what? Chris, you guys live so far away from each other.
Right. And I think it's also, I guess it also lends itself to Chris being so needy at this point in time, and him just like really feeling like, oh, I should probably just ask just in case.
Yeah. I know. It's so funny to me that he's like, but casual, of course.
Right.
When it's like if you're going to do a relationship that's long distance, the last thing it should be is casual, because that implies it's just like physical hookups, right?
Yeah.
Like, which are going to happen when? Right.
That's true too. That's true. Yeah. And he doesn't have anyone else that he can probably like have that casual moment with. I don't know. Whatever.
No.
Anyways, so just wanted to play that scene for you guys so you guys can hear it. But now we are at where Donna is on her way, and it is wild. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but it is wild and cool to see that April still like really cares about this. Like, she actually cares about getting fired. I feel like it's really interesting because I feel like season 1 or 2, April would not have cared, not called Andy, just been like, okay, whatever, I'm going home. You know?
Yeah. I mean, she's invested so much time and energy into this job. Like, we see even later when she's like, I don't really want to be doing this anymore. I think we still see that turmoil in her, that even though she doesn't want to be doing it, there's a connection there, right? Like, she met Andy at this job. She, you know, she has these mentors here. So yeah, but I do think you're right. It's a huge change that she even cares that she lost these files.
Yeah, totally. And just like you said last week with the, this is who she's calling Andy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really nice connection. I think that's really lovely. And it's so funny the way that they display that as far as like burning fingertips off with acid, like that being attractive to April, basically, like so funny and cute to her. And
I know. But the thing is he will leave with her.
Yes.
And he likes his job. You know, he's happy doing a lot of different things. So he's happy in his job, and he's like, I will leave for you.
Yeah, totally.
So cute.
It is so cute. All right. Well, now the surprise is boxing from Anne to do some, stress relieving. Because like Leslie says, like she's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Speaking as someone who has been to boxing class for the last like 5 years, and you've done some, I know too. The mitts part is the most tiring thing of the entire class. Like not all classes have that, but they used to do it more at the gym that I went to. But they kind of stopped and whatever. But like when they would come around, like, so you're already punching on the bag and then they'd come around to do like mitt work, and oof, it is intense. It tires you out so much.
I've never done that, but I've done just we have a boxing or a punching bag in our backyard. And we use that for workouts. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh.
It's intense.
Like, yeah. Especially if you're going, like if I put a 3 to 4 minute song on, like I need a break before the next song. It's legit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. And rounds
Great
are
workout.
usually 3 minutes anyway. So 3-ish minutes anyway. So that's like good that you're doing that. And then you take like an active rest usually. Mm-hmm. But like the mitts though, like especially if the trainer is taller than you, but even if it's not, like you can kind of like get a little bit more of like an eye line for where your shoulders are and where your hands are supposed to be. So like your shoulders are lifted a little bit more, and it's just like such a burn right there. But that's one of the reasons I think boxing is such a good workout, because it's so mental as well as physical, I feel. Because for me anyway, like things come up that you don't realize that you're punching at, and you're like, oh my God, like you realize what your motivation is to be punching. But also it's great because like any workout, I feel like by the end of it you're just like, and even in the middle of it you can't even focus on anything else anyway, because you're so focused on this. So it's like it takes your mind off of whatever you're stressed from anyway. So this was a really good job on Anne's part to have this be the stress reliever thing, I feel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Great activity. I think exercise in itself is always so good for that.
Oh
I was going to ask you though, because Anne, I love this. She's like, great form. I don't know. Does she have good form? Because I trust you over anybody I know.
I mean, no.
She's just throwing her body at it.
She's just kind of flopping all around. But she's doing good for like an amateur box or whatever. I'm amateur. But like, yeah, I really find it interesting that once you do it after a while, some people are there just to hit the bag. They are not there for the form. They are there to get their anger out and to have a workout, and that is it. And that is totally valid. So I think that's what this is. But my favorite part, or like what's so interesting to me about boxing, is that it really is full body. People think that it's just the top part of your body, but it is so full body. Like you're supposed to turn your hip over. You're supposed to turn your whole body to put your whole body behind your punch. And she's not really doing that. She's just kind of flopping around. But thank you for asking me. That makes me feel very, well versed in what I'm trying to do. I haven't done it in a while because, I've talked about this on the bonus pods, but I was like technically laid off or whatever, so I had to freeze my account because I was like, I cannot pay for a gym membership right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get to go back, but or at least do like some kind of something. But I highly recommend boxing. Or like I know a lot of gyms have bags just there and that you can just use them whenever. People I think are intimidated by them because they're like, I don't know what to do. And with boxing, you do want to have like the equipment, like, your gloves and stuff. But there are some people some gyms that like you can use their gloves. So I highly recommend it. And most places have free classes, like free first class to like try it out. So if you're in Nashville, you can just try out Title Boxing. Title is national though, so you can find it anywhere. But there's so many gyms that are kickboxing, and they are expensive, so I get it. You could do Class Pass though.
Class Pass. That's for the win.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
My new job, actually, I'm getting off on a tangent. This is my last thing, I promise. But my new job has a like discounts on certain gyms, and I need to look up. And I know a lot of jobs do that, but I've never worked for one that does. So I need to look up what gyms they are, if it's like cheaper or whatever. Because if that's cheaper, I might have to switch. Because he doesn't listen to this, but my personal favorite trainer, Marshall, shouts to Marshall, oh my God, is leaving because he is the first one that I ever did personal training with. But and like boxing and regular personal training, like weights and stuff like that. And he's like my most favorite trainer in the entire world. And he's like such a good teacher, but he's going off to do like competitive martial arts for reals. And he has like a bunch of YouTube and like books that he's written. Like he's a very spiritual Jesus believer that is like, you know, motivational type of vibes. So I was like, I'm so happy for you, but also why?
Why are you leaving me?
Exactly. And I got all my friends involved in boxing, and like we all go to only his class. Not only, but like he is our top choice priority. Like if he's not teaching, we're like, do I really need to go today?
Yeah. Aw, that's awesome.
And that's not to say that there aren't great, wonderful trainers there, but you know, it's like if you have a preferred person that you always go to, it's tough to switch. But
it is, yeah.
Anyhow.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you should definitely. I want to get some mitts, and that would be fun to do.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Yes, Leslie said that she's been running the whole time they've been dating, like running the campaign, and they're about to get their life back, so she doesn't want him to leave. And I don't know, I feel like I feel like if you don't know the ending of this when you first watch it, a part of me was like, Anne, why are you telling her to tell him that? Like, can't you tell her to like support him, but also like talk to him a little bit more, and like, but then when she does say, tell him how you feel and then you'll work it out. Like that can be taken so many different ways. She was not, I think I was kind of projecting, or maybe other people had this thought too, but like, you know, if you aren't saying, or if you're saying like, tell him how you feel and you'll work it out, it kind of to me felt like, just tell him how you feel and that's the end. Like your feelings matter more kind of thing. And that's totally not what it was at all. But I don't know why I had that thought in my head, you know?
Yeah, I think it comes across that way for sure. Like, it definitely can come across that way because she's so strongly like, tell him how you feel. And then Leslie does. She goes and she tells him straight up how she feels.
Yeah.
Right? Like, without the supportive part, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So, I mean, I have my thoughts around all of this, but I don't know if we want to save that for when she actually talks to Ben.
Okay, we can. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll get off
that
of this
feels
and
right.
move to the next. Yeah, that feels
No,
right.
that's okay. I think you're right. I think if we digest it in the moment of them talking about it.
Great call. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. So Bobby's up by the election results had come in. And she's like, my hands are in these round gloves, so she can't get to her phone. It's so funny. But Bobby is up by 140 points with 20% of precincts reporting. So we've got still a way to go. And it really, the whole like 22. That's only been 22 seconds that she was punching or whatever. Oh, that's disappointing. 22 seconds is a long time for that kind of. If it was constant, I feel like 22 seconds is a lot.
It is,
so,
yeah.
Good for you,
a lot of those, some exercise things, you're like, takes a lot out of you.
It does, totally. Okay. Well, now I'm moving on to when Ben orders a gin and tonic. If you're ready.
Yes, and I want to know why Ben thinks Ron's the good person to go to, but I think there's always been a part of Ben that's trusted Ron.
Yeah.
Because of Leslie's trust in Ron, and that Leslie sees Ron as this mentor and like older brother, uncle type vibe, you know? And I think that, have you ever had that happen where you have a friend? I think I did this with Sean a little bit when we were in college, because if you ever had someone so close to you that's had somebody that they're so close to, and you're just like, I'm close to them by association.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
like
I think
parasocial relationship. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's kind of what's happening here is like, while in our head, we're like, why are you going to him? Like, first of all, he's not going to give you great advice because he doesn't necessarily care about him the same way. Ron doesn't necessarily care about Ben the same way he cares about Leslie. But I think reverse in Ben's brain, he's like, this is the person to go to because this is who Leslie would go to.
Yeah. Totally. And also, I mean, Ron is just the dad of the show. He was always written that way, and he is going to be a mentor to everyone, like particularly Leslie. But we've seen in these last couple episodes where he's a mentor to April, basically. Then he becomes a mentor to Tom with what he needs to do. Or he already was, to as far as like leaving to go do Entertainment 720. Like Ron was really written, I think, his character to be that kind of like father figure, even though he might be kind of tough or whatever, and like tough love and certain vibes. But to your point, like Ben is asking for this big, huge life change, and Ron kind of proves his point by or proves our point, I guess, by saying he doesn't want any change ever. So
Yeah.
And you think it's gonna go on, you think it's gonna end, but it goes on forever. The things that he hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But
which
he
is
has really
hilarious.
It is so hilarious. And all the specificities, I have one bowl or whatever, crazy.
Yeah.
But I think Ron is also really good at having that kind of one or two sentence thing of how to advise someone. He's really changed here too, because like I said, with April, even season 1, Ron would not have said this. I feel I think,
yeah.
I think he would have just been okay, you guys do whatever you need to do kind of thing. But in this one, he empathizes and puts himself in their shoes and says you guys are going to jump off the deep end because you do that. That's what you do. And you land on your feet. So I think that's really sweet.
Yeah, I do love that. He does come around for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's I love that line because it's true.
Mm-hmm.
They are take the bull by the horns people.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes even when you know that what the other person might do for themselves, it is interesting to hear, to ask, what would you do in this situation? Just what would you do? Can someone tell me what else I could do? I'm so confused,
Oh, I think that's always a wonderful question to ask because even if you're a different person, it's you get a different outlook that you might not have looked at. And sometimes, when I've talked to you about things, it's sometimes that person gives you a different outlook that puts your needs above the other person's. Because sometimes we're but I have to do this for this other person because that's just who we are.
Yeah.
And you and I are always well, how's Holly benefiting from that? Or how's Maddie benefiting from that? So,
right.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Good.
I do love that when Ben orders that gin and tonic, though, Ron says clear alcohol is for rich women on diets and orders him the Lagavulin from Dana. Oh, my God.
I love it.
You know what? I'm going to take that because I do love clear alcohol. However, maybe that's just meaning that I'm going to manifest being a rich woman. So I'm not
you know what?
Diet, but I'll be on a rich
Drink for the life you want, not the life you have. Okay.
That's it. That is it. I also, again, love that Ron knows this bartender by name now because, as we learned from our deleted scene. But even, cutting the deleted scene is kind of even funnier. It is. Because then you don't see that they had this relationship at all or whatever. You just think that he is becoming familiar with her,
Yeah. That was one of my
so
notes is, he's on a first name basis with the bartender already.
Yeah, totally.
Love it.
And I talked about this gal a little bit last week, but I don't think I did my usual breakdown on her. And I have a deleted scene, or I have a voice memo actually from her, because I already played the deleted scene, which is so exciting.
Yay.
But her name is Aubyn Philabaum, and she's been in You. Do you watch that show, You?
I watched the first season.
Okay,
Did you?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't know. It's more of a scary vibe for me. It's not scary, but it's definitely more of my constitution is weak, and I just did not want to deal with the stalker.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I probably wouldn't have watched it if I lived alone, and just because I don't those things live in me for a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah. So that would be my suggestion. Yeah. I was living with Ivan at the time and we watched it together and we lived in the second story of whatever. We weren't in a solo house or anything like that. So I felt a little bit more, but if I was living alone, I would have been no, I can't do this because I'm going to be thinking about it every time I walk to the car by myself. I'm going to, no.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I feel about a lot of shows. Even Succession, that's not a scary show, but it's watching that before you go to bed sometimes it sticks in your brain.
It's so heavy.
It is so heavy. Or why haven't there's dark comedy too, but it's definitely heavy. And that's why I haven't watched The Last of Us yet because I haven't had time to watch it during the daytime on a weekend because I watched the first episode and I was are all my windows locked? Are all my does my door lock work? Oh my God. And I want to watch it though because I know it's a phenomenal show and particularly
Pedro
for
Pascal.
you yes, Pedro. Oh my God. Oh, so amazing. But particularly for you, I do like that what's his face guy?
Penn Badgley.
Yeah, I do like him. I think he's great. And I think the rest of the cast is great too. And I'm sure Aubyn was great in it too. But I just,
Yeah.
anyway, that was a side note. So thank you for that tip. Anyways, Aubyn was also in Criminal Minds, American Housewife, a ton of stuff. She also went to Boston University, which, you know,
shout out.
shout out for those of you new here. Maddie and I met at Berkeley in Boston. And my first student film was at BU. So I was like, oh my God.
Cute.
Exciting. So exciting. Anyways, let me play the clip from Aubyn Philabaum, who played Dana.
Yay.
Oh, wait. Before I do that, there is something that I just am remembering this now. She mentioned something in the voice recording that wasn't completely accurate, and she wanted me to confirm before I played it. Or, well, she didn't do that. I said I would confirm it before. Let's be real. Let me see. Yeah, oh my God, this is so cute. She was in line in the drive-through line for a burrito because she said she was on set for 12 hours today. So she was pretty beat. You can hear my voice is hoarse and there are quite a few brain fart pauses. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is amazing. But let's see. What did she say? Oh, she said, I just realized I named the film I'm currently working on as Kate Hugo, Diamond Deputy Agent, but it's actually Kate Hugo, Diamond Detective Agent. So, like, it's just like tiny little words that were flipped, which again is not like terrible. But she was like, I'd hate to misrepresent the film. Like, you know, should I just do another voice memo? And I was like, no, I will tell people. So it's actually called Kate Hugo, Diamond Detective Agent, everyone. And I will link everything in the show notes and tag Aubyn too so she can, you know, promote all of that. But I just want to make sure that we're doing right by both her and the film that she was in, okay? Before I play that.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry, that took me forever, but also kind of cute because I'm just imagining her in the drive-thru line getting a burrito.
Yeah.
And thank you, Aubyn, for doing this after 12 hours on set. That's a long effing day. Crazy.
Seriously.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Holly. Thanks so much for having me on your podcast. So Parks and Rec was really fun to shoot. Everyone, it was so nice on set and so welcoming. I met Nick Offerman in the makeup trailer first, and then on set, he just joked around with me in between takes the whole time. He was just really sweet and really fun, and he just made me feel really at ease and welcomed. And I did feel like I was his personal bartender, which then cut to my next episode in season 6 when I basically was his personal bartender. And he actually directed that episode in season 6 that I was in, which was called Flu Season. But I got the part in season 4, that season finale. I auditioned for Dorian Frankel. She's a fabulous casting director. I love her. And I remember the waiting room was packed with people, and she came out after someone had auditioned, and she said to the waiting room, okay, guys, look, I just really want someone to just be a natural bartender or something like that. I can't remember. And I'd worked in service so many years. As a bartender, as a waitress, as a hostess, all of that. And I don't know, it worked out. So it was just so much fun. And Mike Schur, who directed Win, Lose, or Draw in season 4, who's also the creator of the show, he was really sweet and very kind and complimentary as well. He creates a really warm set. So that was my experience. And then, so my character's name was Dana. And then Dorian Frankel actually convinced them to make the bartender / really more of a server in the season 6 episode, to just call her Dana as well and bring me back. So that was a really nice move on Dorian's part, because then I could call myself recurring on Parks and Rec. So shout out to Dorian Frankel. She's amazing. At least that's what I thought happened. Maybe there was something different behind the scenes, but that's my story, and I'm sticking with it because I just want to think that, that was an amazing thing to have happen to an actor. And when I came back, Nick, in the makeup trailer, I saw him again, and he said he remembered me. He was like, "Oh, it's so nice to have you back." And I was floored, and I didn't totally believe it because, they have a lot of and guest stars come through that show. But I mean, he said it right off the bat when he sat down in his makeup chair. So it was really lovely. And then I decided that Nick and I were going to be best friends. And I started going around LA and seeing all of his different shows, if he had a comedy show or anything, and quickly realized he and I were not going to become best friends. But I do think he's a fabulous person and a fabulous actor. So, and that show is just amazing. I recently opened an acting studio, an in-person acting studio in Tucson, Arizona. And I also do have a private coaching business that I conduct online now since pandemic. I've been coaching for many, many years. So if anyone is in need of an acting coach, hit me up. I can coach you and also put you on tape, even remotely. So I just wanted to put that plug out there, and I really appreciate you having me on your show, Holly. I just got off set today, so I'm a little tired. I'm currently shooting a feature called Kate Hugo, Diamond Deputy Agent. It's a murder mystery, and I play a psychic whose brother is murdered. But it's a fabulous script and really, really fun. So it was a long day, but it was a really fun day. It's always fun to be on set. Anyway, thanks so much. And that's it. Okay.
Nice.
Cute.
Oh my gosh.
Cute,
Thank
cute,
you so
cute.
much for that. That was so nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. And I love to hear all that about Offerman. I mean, we knew that, but it's just, we knew he was a down to earth, very cool guy, but it's always nice to hear the little stories about him and stuff.
Yeah, totally. And I totally forgot that I didn't recognize, and to be honest, I don't even know if I remember Flu Season 2, the one that she's in. I need to go back and watch that, or when we get there, I told her I would definitely contact her because there's a flu season in previous seasons that we've already covered where Leslie is saying that she's Leslie Monster.
One of my favorites.
It's so good. But then the second one, I'm guessing is a couple seasons later, or maybe next season. I can't remember. But either way, that's amazing that she came back. And yeah, shouts to Dorian Frankel for bringing back amazing people. That is such a testament to this casting team. I feel like they do such a good job of that. And then yeah, private coaching. Maddie, that's cool. You have to drive over to Tucson. How far is that from Phoenix?
2 hours.
Okay, well, drive over
Not
there
bad.
and take an acting class. Make a weekend out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Dana, if you're listening, Maddie is in Phoenix. So, if you're ever out there, you can definitely contact me and I'll, connect you to. But yeah, so, I'll definitely link all the coaching and all that stuff, that you do as well. And just a reminder, the film is Kate Hugo, Diamond Detective Agent. That is the correct one. Okay. And I'll link that in there as well. But thank you, Dana, so much. That's amazing. You did a great job. I'm like, so with all of these, I feel like I'm always so in shock because they can always be so overacted with this kind of thing, very sitcom-y vibes, but this was just acted so real and like, okay, I'm just gonna pretend that, we're like, I'm not your best friend, but I am your personal bartender. That's weird, but also I'm just here to serve you. So, but yeah, I can imagine acting with Nick Offerman and having him say that he remembers you.
Oh my gosh.
Be on the floor.
Same here. Is she talking about the episode when Leslie finds out that she's pregnant? Like Jerry's super sick and Leslie is like throwing up and she thinks she has the flu. Because that's when they do the wine, when Ben gets plastered off blueberry wine.
Oh, the wine tasting. Yeah, it says, Leslie makes a shocking personal discovery. So you're probably right. It does ravage Pawnee. Oh, that's when Jerry is in the
incubation thing.
Jerry's in the little, stay in your little Cube Sticky, she calls him or whatever. Oh yeah, and then Tom is looking for a sommelier, and they go to the wine thing.
That's cute.
Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, and this is also where you're so right. Andy and Leslie are booking performers for the Unity concert, and she's like throwing up in Wilco's bushes or whatever, or not Wilco, or is it Wilco? What am I thinking? Oh my god,
what's her name?
Wilco's the girl band. No, Wilco's no, it's not. Wilco's the right one.
What are they called
right
though
one.
in the
Okay.
show?
Oh, in the show, I don't know. I was talking about the real one. But anyways,
I don't know. Anyway, cute segue with that though is that's another episode where Ron is a super like older brother dad figure to Ben.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cute little correlation.
Yeah, that's so true. This is planting the seed in this episode. Yeah, that's so true. It's Lanto.
Thank you.
Lanto
okay,
is
I was like pirates is what I'm thinking in my head, but I don't know. Yeah,
close enough. Oh my gosh, but yeah, that's really true. That is a nice little connection here.
Yeah,
because this is where Ben is starting to like be thinking very seriously about Leslie. I mean, he always was, but especially now that he has this choice to make, But anyway, okay. So speaking of Ron, though, I do want to say that there's a very short deleted scene where Ron does have some change in his life. So I will just play that for you.
So you really want things to just stay exactly the same?
I like some changes. Like when I change a tree into a canoe or a wife into an ex-wife.
But if Leslie wins, you get my old job.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. I love it so much.
I know. Those two are great changes, aren't they? Well, for Ron anyway.
Yeah. For Ron, yeah. For Ron, they're good changes.
And I do want to mention, too, that, we had mentioned that it is kind of funny that Ron decides to actually talk to him about this kind of vibe. And there is a part of that cutscene is saying that he doesn't really like talking to people. But Ron says it's a special night and I've had half a bottle of whiskey, which I understand why they cut that. Not really, but you still get it. The audience still gets it when later Ron says, I've had 11 whiskeys, you drive, which begs the question, how did he get there? Did he drive?
Yeah. He definitely drove.
He drove on the way there and then was like, okay, now that there's another
it's hitting me too hard now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, this is one of my favorite Adam Scott things that he does when he drinks whiskey or whatever. Hey.
Hey.
And his face and like the whiskey is just like falling out of his mouth. It's so funny.
It's so good.
And Leslie Knope is now winning by 194 points with 70% of precincts reporting, which is very exciting.
Woo.
And I know, so exciting. Leslie says this is where she says she doesn't want Ben to go to Washington. And Ben, like, surprisingly, but kind of not surprisingly, says, fine, we'll get to that. I feel, you know what I mean? We could talk about that. Or do you want to talk about it now? Or do you want to like go to when she actually says, yes, you can go?
I have my next note is I just want to have dinner with you.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like talking about it now.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Because I love that line. I just want to have dinner with you because I feel like it's just one of the most simple things ever. But it's so precious. And when you get so busy and things kind of just drown your time, like that's one of the first things to go is that like one-on-one time. It's something that Ivan and I have talked about, that we're going to have a set dinner time as our family and there's going to be no phones at the dinner table. And that's going to be like our check-in with our family at the end of the day. And I think like you're getting a glimpse into what their life has been. Like, yes, they've been running a campaign together, but they haven't just sat and had dinner. So I'm really, really happy that Leslie does tell him. Right?
Yeah. How she feels.
I'm really happy because if she hadn't, there could have been built up resentment. And I think she needed to get that off of her chest to be able to see the positive of him taking this job offer. And so I'm totally on board with what Anne said. Like, you have to be open with him and tell him, because he also needed to hear that she loves him and just wants to spend time with him. But at the same time, we've been doing this thing for her. And not that he hasn't gained anything from it. He's about to gain a job from it. But
but he wouldn't take it because of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And we don't want, as a partner, you don't want to be the reason your significant other doesn't reach a goal either.
Right.
So I think,
But I agree with you in that she should have told him how she feels, because they need to have that conversation. And Ben agrees with her. It's not that Ben doesn't agree with her. Ben agrees and wants to have dinner with her too. And he says he's on the fence. Like, this just decides it. Like, he wants that too, but it's just such a hard situation.
It is. And I think what I would have wished for is in this moment for her to say her piece. I don't want you to do this, but this is a huge opportunity for you. Yeah. So we really should weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Because she's allowed to have her emotions, but logically speaking, like, can he pass this opportunity up?
Yeah.
So I would have liked that to all happen in one conversation rather than it being like later her be like, oh shit, I gotta let him go,
Yeah, totally. And I think, but to the show's credit, I suppose, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, but that makes sense from a timeline point of view in a real life situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like we don't always have the answer, or we don't always have like the logical, like, let's do the pros and cons things. A lot of people are really good at that and having like that answer immediately. But, sometimes it just takes you some time to get to that realization. And that's okay too. As long as it doesn't take like months and months and months. But sometimes it takes a while for you to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm making him give up. And she hadn't had a conversation with Ron yet. Yep. He's a big mentor moment for Ron in this episode.
Oh, Ron.
And he doesn't even mean to half the time, I feel. He just is doing that,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I totally understand. Was there anything else in your notes though?
No, that was my thought process. My next note is that the hysterical laughter.
Oh my gosh, yes. So Leslie says after that part, they come out because Anne comes in and says that they're reporting, and they see that Bobby Newport, amateur go-kart champion, has won. And Leslie, oh
so
God,
just a punch to the gonads is that little
totally,
piece of detail.
Totally, that's his qualifications for winning.
My gosh.
Oh my God. And yeah, Leslie has this mental break and starts maniacally laughing, and it's so greatly written, so greatly acting, like, so wonderful, because my dream is dead. So crazy. This is where they do the beep, right? Or no? I think they do.
What beep?
Like, do they beep out? Doesn't she say like, what the fuck or something? Or no, maybe not. Maybe that's Ron. Okay, yeah, that was Ron, another one I'm thinking of. Well, that would have been a good place for it to be a beep. I don't know why I made that up in my head. Anyway, so now they're calling a recount, and I love that Ben is leading this charge. It made me laugh out loud that Jen wants to make a deal to get them not to recount.
Oh
I'll give you Joe Biden's home phone number. Yes.
I quote that so often. If we have a day where we're out for so long, I just want to go home.
Yes. Yeah, and the way she slumps over on the table, that totally could not have been like written in the script. Maybe it was, but it's so she did such beautiful. A good job.
Yeah, so well done. And I sorry, I cut you off a little bit with the Joe Biden's phone number thing, which is just so perfect. And that Leslie's like, well, hold on a minute.
Now hang on, that's interesting.
Oh gosh.
And she doesn't even think twice. She's like, well, I'm gonna give up this dream that I've worked like 8,000 months for and didn't have a relationship with Ben for, just so I can get Joe Biden's phone number. I totally get it. But like, what would you do with Joe Biden's phone number? What's she gonna do? Call his home phone and like he's gonna start screening? But you know her, she's just gonna leave 8,000 messages. I just think that's funny to visualize.
Yeah, it is.
He's gonna change his phone number. Joe Biden's gonna have to change his phone number permanently.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh God. Okay. Well, Terrence, our friend who sent in a voice memo, Randy Kovitz, is the commissioner, and he's like, okay, keep your phones on. We got to do it. And then this is like a crazy moment where they're all talking, trying to get, Leslie to make a speech to the troops to rally them. And I really like Tom's line, even though it's weird, like, I picked the wrong week to do a juice cleanse.
Yeah. Not a good time to be stressed out and not eating.
Yes, totally. And there is this moment here that they cut where they show Ben really freaking out, like breaking down as well, like saying, "Oh my God, where is she? Why is she gone? Like, so just no one knows where she is. Like, what the hell, Jerry? Come on!" And then like he says the "what the hell, Jerry" thing, and then he's like, "Okay, never mind. I'm like," he immediately says it, "I'm sorry," and like that was unfair, and shakes his hand, which was like hilarious. also just showing he has like he's having a breakdown too. But it's kind of cool from a deleted scenes perspective to see Leslie breaking down and Ben like leading the charge, and then you flip flop and now Ben's freaking out and Leslie's leading the charge, or saying calm, I guess I should say, in this next scene. So I've always loved how they illustrated their balance together. It's always really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Now our savior, Ron Swanson, finds Leslie at the city council chamber, and Ron knows exactly how the chair is made. But this makes me so emotional, this scene. I don't know. I mean, this whole episode actually does make me teary-eyed. This is the most teary-eyed I think I've ever experienced Parks and Rec, and it's probably a mixture of things that are going in my life, but also like where we are in society, and also like having analyzed so deeply how far she's come and stuff. It's just like so emotional. And Leslie feeling bad that she's letting everyone down if she doesn't win. And Ron, this is like so amazing and wonderful when Ron, says, we didn't do this to wrap ourselves in glory. Like, you had a dream and you cared about it, and that's what you do. And it's wonderful how he kind of hesitates before he says that, because it's almost like it's paining him to be vulnerable and emotional this time. I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I love that he's the one that knows where she is.
Yes, totally.
He's the most emotionally balanced person at this time, because Ben's too close to it. He shouldn't be the one talking to her right now. Obviously, as we hear from the deleted scene, right? He's a little too emotional.
Totally.
So I think it's beautiful.
I do too. And then, this is one of my favorite things is when they say the name of the episode in a line of dialogue, and he says, that's what you do when you love someone. You support them, win, lose, or draw. And it's so beautiful. And I also love this writing technique, and so many shows do this so well, but Parks and Rec does it really well too, when, they're using one situation, like this situation, to influence the other situation that she's going to make about Ben later. Yeah. So I love that so much.
Me too.
It's so special. It's just so perfect. Okay, so now Andy is thinking about places to live, and I have the whole list.
Love it.
For when he's about to, so they want to move, or he's saying, like, just in a dream world, when you get fired, we need to move. The list includes Germany, Greenland, Australia, the moon, which I think is bringing it back to Model UN. The moon will support your coalition.
Beautiful.
Winterfell, which is Game of Thrones, for those of you who don't know. Montana, South Africa, with the initials DMB, which is following that, and that means Dave Matthews Band. And Dave Matthews Band is from South Africa, which I totally forgot Dave Matthews is.
No way.
Like, that's what it says online.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Let me just fact check myself right now. Where is he from? Yeah, Johannesburg, South Africa. He became a naturalized American citizen in 1980. And he spent a lot of his time as a child in U.S. and England. What? His family moved to Charlottesville, Virginia in 1986, where he formed Dave Matthews Band in 1991? Are you kidding me? You guys?
Dang.
Okay, I did not realize that. I am from the Virginia area. I'm from an hour away, for those of you that don't know that. So that's crazy.
That's so cool.
Wow. All right. Okay. And then they also have Chicago on there, Florida, Everglades, Jamaica, Pegasus for whatever reason, New Caprica, which is from Battlestar Galactica, Georgia, not the USA one, Bermuda, Bahama, Key Largo, Montego, Kokomo, which are all the places in the
they're just
Beach
taken
Boys
from the song. Yeah.
Yes. Amazon Village, Seattle, Burley's house on Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Which is also hilarious. It is kind of funny because, so apparently, according to the internet, Mike Schur came up with Winterfell because he's the GOT fan, which is what we'll see later with Ben, and why that's kind of written in there, which I think Adam Scott is too, but not as big, I don't think, as maybe Ben is. But anyway, and then Pratt came up with all the places in the Beach Boys song.
Cute.
Which is hilarious.
Love it.
Anyways, so Andy is now making a list of all the other careers they could do, and this is foreshadowing to later in the episode with all the law enforcement jobs. And oh my gosh, Andy thinking that he's like being supportive by taking her mind off everything because of this horrible thing that you did, where you could get fired. It was the worst thing that ever happened in Parks and Rec history. Dream big, kid.
Oh, Andy. It's his heart's in the right place. It's always in the right place.
Exactly. Oh my God. And April's just continuing to freak out. But there's also a deleted scene that says that she would be a substitute teacher in her like dream world. I was like, April, what the hell?
Interesting.
Okay. I know. She also has Princess Warrior / Witch on there. And also there's a deleted scene in here where it says that he would be a scientist because he dissolved a toy in Red Bull and was like, nature.
Yeah. Nature. Love that.
Also, energy drinks. I mean, if you can dissolve a toy in Red Bull /
Yikes.
energy drinks, probably shouldn't be going to your body. But
Yeah, no. Not about it.
No. Okay. Now Donna's coming in. Do you have anything before that?
No. I love
Oh my
that she just storms in, that she's upset because she almost made it with Councilman Hauser.
Yes, I have that line written too. So that was actually I totally forgot about this, but that was in our interview with Yvonne Jourdain, who plays Councilman Hauser. And we talked about how like that could have been such a cool like side story for them to be together, or like, I don't know, just have that shown somewhere, or do like webisodes like, they did the accountants with the Office or something.
Yeah.
And they did webisodes here with Parks and Rec as well,
That's right,
with
they
Andy and
did.
April's road trip. So I'd have loved to see a webisode with
yeah.
Councilman Hauser and Donna.
Cute.
But yeah, I love that. I love that so much. That needs to be like a fan fiction.
Yeah. I love it.
But thanks to Yvonne's for bringing that up because I totally forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donna fixes it immediately, and
Yeah.
because of Jerry, who always deletes things, and she has her own backup drive. But can we just talk about? I don't think we ever really talk about how amazing Donna is at her job.
Oh, she's so nonchalant about it. Like,
Yeah.
She doesn't spend a lot of time talking about how good she is or anything like that. Like, she's just automatically there and amazing.
Totally. And I feel like people write her off for not being good at her job because like she like the way that we see her is like, sexy, kind of really confident, not really talking about her job, but like she's been there for 10 years. She said 10 years ago I installed this. So probably a little more than that. She knows what the hell she's doing, and she is like and she's the office manager. Like we learned that in I think like season 1 or 2, and like everyone forgot that. And it's so crazy. But yeah, I just think that we need to shout her out because she is really good at doing what she is supposed to be doing,
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so smart. Like,
She is.
of course you would install your own backup drive. Come on. That's
Of
amazing.
course. When you
Okay.
work with Jerry, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I love that they all hugged together. That was a special moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of special moments,
Here
oh my
we
God.
go.
Here we go. This is when Leslie tells Ben that he has to go to Washington. And I just love this writing so much. It's kind of turning the tables because this is what happened when Ben learned that Leslie had to run for office and they had to break up because it's her dream. And he presented her with a wooden box that had a pin in it that said no 2012. And now she's presenting a little box with Washington Monument figurine to him. And I just think it's so beautifully done, so well written. And like, I love both of their facial expressions. Their acting is so good. Like, he knows exactly what she means by presenting him with this, and she knew exactly what he meant by presenting her with that pin. It's just so beautiful.
Full circle.
Full circle indeed. But yeah, like you said, she just needed some time and perspective to hear, like, you have to go to Washington. You can't not do that for me. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm still glad she was open with him too.
Me
Like,
too.
he needed to hear that and she needed to say it. So
Yeah. Also, I love that she has like 50 Washington monuments. That is so cute.
so Leslie.
Yes. He's like, where'd you get that? I have like 50 of them. Yes. And then Anne comes in with the news. Oh my God. This whole like little section here is just beautiful, and it absolutely makes me cry, like, or not like sob, but it definitely tear up. And with Amy's beautiful performance crying, and like Rashida crying, like Leslie or Amy Poehler like kind of shaking her head in like disbelief and happiness, and it's just like, it's so beautiful and so well done with the writing too, of like, it's still 21 votes, but you won, and it's,
yeah, tricky Anne. And I have my line here is my heart every time, because Ben just has this pride.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's so cool.
They're all just so happy for each other, and it's like so beautiful. That was really sneaky, Anne.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. Oh my God, so good. And then I love we break this tension with the huge catch your dreams moment. The balloons are falling. It's so beautiful. Red, white, and blue balloons. Great line with Bobby Newport saying, honestly, I've never been more relieved in my entire life. And then Jerry crying because he thought he ruined it.
Yeah. You're kind of ruining it now.
Yes, exactly. I cannot imagine. I wrote this note like I cannot imagine being an extra in this. Oh my God.
Oh, wow,
monumental.
yeah. Huge.
And they all did great. Like I was looking in the background, people were so excited for her. They were cheering, they were clapping, and then like when she's giving her speech, they were just giving really like great looks of wonder and awe and inspiration to her. I thought it was wonderful. Well done.
So
everybody.
So well done. I agree completely. The decorations of the whole area and everything too.
Oh my God. So good.
So good.
Ron turns down the assistant city manager because he says he likes where he is. I think that maybe his conversation with Ben might have done the same thing, kind of turned his like perspective or confirmed his perspective. I don't know. I get it. I would like him to stay where he is too, but I also want him to have a trajectory, but that's me projecting on him because he's not really supposed to, I feel.
No,
you know,
his
that's not the point.
His upward mobility is emotionally.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because he ends up married and with kids, and it's not work wise, it's more
100%. Yes. Oh my God, randomly John Ralphio shows up. You knew exactly where I was going.
Of course.
Who has 2 thumbs and just got cleared from insurance fraud.
This guy, there's no job for you.
Good choice. Go with your gut.
That. Yeah, I love that so
Smart
much.
move. Did you notice his shirt, like, and his scarf? Like, his scarf matches the design on his shirt. Like, they go together.
That's amazing.
I didn't notice that until, like, the second time I watched it through. Just like,
I didn't notice it at all. And you know how much I love the wardrobes.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God. It was so cool because I watch it, you know, to do my notes. And then sometimes if it's been a while in between notes and recording, I'll watch it again just to like reiterate. And I just noticed it on like my second watch through. So I was like, what? That's crazy. Yeah. So anyways, but yeah. And the reason he comes up, for those of you who don't remember, is because he thinks that there might be a job for him to be the city manager. And I was just like, okay, John Ralphio.
Dream big, bro.
Yeah. What a crazy city that would be. Oh my God.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No.
Anyway. I do love though, like as much as we hate Chris, are not on Chris's side a bunch of the time. This was kind of a funny part of like, there's no job for you.
There's no, Good call. Yeah.
All right. And then this next part, when she goes to give her speech and Ben says that he never wrote the concession speech for her.
Yeah. Which is so sweet, but also so irresponsible.
I know.
What would happen?
Apparently this was a storyline on The West Wing. Like they never wrote a concession speech for one of the candidates. And you know, we talked about this a lot, like while you were on maternity leave, that like Greg Daniels and like everybody, especially Greg Daniels and Mike Schur and a lot of people on Parks are like huge West Wing fans. And I didn't really know that, but apparently this is a trivia thing that like Parks and Rec is the comedy version of West Wing, is what they like. A lot of their inspiration was from that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's so fascinating. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So
that's cool.
Pretty wonderful. And that's like when what's his ass Pilner, Bradley Whitford comes in, like because he was on West Wing and Rob Lowe was on West Wing, and there's like that whole homage to it. There was a bunch of Easter eggs in that episode in particular, but yeah. But it's very sweet and special. Like of one day when I'm more emotionally stable, I want to read the concession speech she wrote for me. I never wrote it. Oh,
yeah,
so good. But yeah, you're right. Irresponsible. Come on. Okay. Well, this speech is so incredible. I wrote that in all caps. I love that. I want to focus on your hopes, not your fears. I want to solve problems instead of creating friction. It's just everything I need to hear right now with our political stances right now. I just feel like I need to see a good person win. Like I just need that.
We need a Leslie Knope.
I know. Well, I mean, we have one in Tennessee, people. Gloria Johnson is running for Congresswoman. August 1st is your election day, people. Get your voting pants on, because she really is, I feel, a Leslie Knope, and she was a part of the Tennessee 3, and that's also one of the things that keeps me going, is watching the Tennessee 3 people that are in the Tennessee Senate that keep, were voted out and then voted back in. And by voted out, I mean by the actual like leadership and not by their constituents, who they are serving. So thank you so much. But anyways, yeah. So it's just amazing to see someone that loves what they do and loves like the town and how special the people are really represented here. And I know it's fictional, but like it's just such a beacon of hope, I feel.
Absolutely. I love it.
And I love that she goes off the cuff and she starts speaking from her heart, like adds her own spin to it. It's so beautiful. And the shots of everyone who helped her as the camera pans across the parks department. And that's where I was talking about, like the extras are really so good as well. And oh my God, it's just wonderful. Her sliding her picture into the city council member thing in Parks and Rec or in City Hall. Season 1, Maddie, I looked that up. That was in season Boys Club where she talks about all the boys in the black and white pictures. That was season 1. I thought it was like season 2
it's within the first
end of
6
season
episodes.
2. But I mean, that is truly full circle.
Yeah, I love it.
Like started from the bottom, now we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, joining the boys club.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, and I love this line of the not the old map that shows where we've been, but break out a new crisp map that shows where we might go. Yeah. Oh, that is so good.
It is very good because a lot of times we focus on the past.
Which we need to hear and know to learn. But
there's a balance.
You know, it's, totally. Oh my God. Okay, so that's beautiful. We have this wonderful moment, and then this stupid moment tag thing of where Anne gets drunk and says that they should date again. And I'm just like, again, we just got over this.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I hate this. My literal note is I hate this.
It's so ridiculous. And it just gives Tom like more ammo or whatever because he's like, it's my dream.
Yeah.
It's
Nostradamus.
Oh my God, Nostradamus. I had to look up like what that was.
Yeah.
Did you look it up?
No, I knew. So
Okay.
Nostradamus is he was technically a psychic kind of guy. He had like visions, and I think he worked for the kings in France.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that part, but yeah, maybe he did.
I think he was. I think he helped the royalty. Maybe it wasn't France, but he would like analyze their dreams and
he was
use
an
it to, like, tell the
astrologer.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Maybe
was.
I'm
like
thinking of like the mythological version of him because there's a real Nostradamus, and then there's like they've done like plays on the real.
Oh,
person.
sure. Okay. No, well, I mean, apparently, I don't think you're wrong though, because some of the cryptic like predictions that he is responsible for is still like being discussed today. Kind of like apparently he predicted both of the world wars, both Hitler and Napoleon rising. So he has all these like psychic vibes, and I don't know obviously all the information, but that's what he's saying, Nostradamus, and I feel like that's a smarty.
Yeah,
smart
that's a
thing
good
for him
writing
to say.
Yeah.
That's
it's way
line.
above his.
That's a Mike Schur Harvard line.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a Tom level line. No.
But it's so good. It's so good and smart, and that metaphor is wonderful.
Yes.
I also love this line of the way that Anne says this. I just love it. No take backs, partner. We're cowboys.
Moving in. Why?
No. Hate it.
Not here for it. Not
Get
about it.
out of here. No.
Yeah.
And there is a deleted scene too here where Anne admits that she does actually like Tom, but she doesn't think it's a good idea because their relationship was crazy. And I'm kind of glad they cut it because I don't want to see Anne like really liking him a lot.
No, it doesn't make sense to me if I'm being honest.
It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't track, and it makes sense that the way that the aired version is, where like she is learning about herself, and then she gets to be like the one that's saying, like she's the one that's in control, and not the one that's always like following, like dressing up in a cowboy outfit after her boyfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, they just aren't right together. It's not right.
No, it's not right.
And the comedy is overplayed. I just think it's overplayed. I think we did it. We're done.
Yeah,
we're good.
We don't need to go back.
The only thing that kind of sort of like I guess could be funny from this is the amenities or whatever, but that could have been explained so many different other ways.
Yeah.
The amenities that Tom has in his apartment, but anyways, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah.
So Donna laughing when she gets hit with the balloon that Andy hits her with, like I wonder
They're
if
all
that
plastered.
was improvised.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all so drunk. I didn't realize she has a straw in the champagne bottle. What a queen. So good.
It's my dream.
I know. It's so good. She must have 2 straws, like
Connected,
connected to go to the bottom of the bottle. Well, I hope that's what it is.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Andy doesn't get it when April says, like, babe, all the things on your list were police officers. Also, did you notice that this just sounds so silly, I guess, saying it out loud, but like the police officers walk by and that's what like inspires her to say it, I think. I never noticed those police officers walking by
Oh, yeah?
until my watch through.
Yeah. I think it's the only way they make sense that it gets brought up.
Yeah,
later.
I think all this time I was just like, oh, they're all drunk, they're thinking about their lives, and they had a crazy day, so it just comes up like, wait, oh, and there's I don't know, but yeah, police officers walk by, and he's like, yeah, ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that means nothing, but I think that's great. So that's gonna set up a lot for next season, as far as where he's gonna go with his career and what he's gonna try to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. And now they're all going to JJ's for victory waffles and staying up all night talking about our lives and our feelings. City council, bitches.
Yeah. City council bitches. I love it. And this is
Oh my
when Ron decides to drop the bomb.
Oh my God, ridiculous.
For no fucking reason. Poor Jerry.
Yeah. It's like so unnecessary. Like, we did this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're good. But at the same time, it's just what happens to Jerry. It's just par for the course at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jerry.
my God. Oh, Jerry.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, that was it. Win, lose, or draw. We are done with season 5. Oh, my God.
Season 4. Don't rush me.
Season 4. Sorry. Season 4. Oh, my God. Thank you for reminding me. I'm already looking at season 5. That's why I said that. Okay.
Yeah. I know.
I haven't started like analyzing, but I was just like looking on IMDb about all the amazing episodes that are coming up. It's kind of wild.
It's so good. Each season's
my
so
God.
good for its own reason.
Yeah, totally. And I just feel like now, like we talked about already, like season 4 is just peak Parks and Rec, man. Like everybody is just like, like Leslie said in her promo thing, or Amy Poehler said in the promo for this episode in particular, like we are getting to really love these characters now and where they're going to go, and we're really invested in how they're going to proceed from here. And I just think it's so brilliant and so wonderful. It does kind of like, we talked about this a little bit, but it does kind of make me sad that like I feel like so many shows don't get the chance to get to season 4 or like complete a season 4. So like we don't have all of that like investment a lot of the times. It's just like it has to be so amazing immediately. And like it's tough, you know? It's just tough.
Agreed.
But have you watched Abbott Elementary yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's like one of the only shows that I watch like currently, like I watch it every week or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, in real time.
Yeah, exactly. It's so wonderful. So if you haven't watched that, check that out. But thank you to everyone that sent in amazing voice memos.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to share that with you guys. And then also, obviously, check out the show notes and make sure that you're following everybody. And then if you are not following us on Instagram, go ahead and follow us on Instagram because we post a bunch of stuff as far as like who you can follow from the show, which is really nice. Again, if you haven't rated or reviewed, please do that. And there are bonus pods that are 3 months, $3 per month. I meant to say, I don't know. I don't do them as consistently as I was. And to be quite honest, like there's just a lot of stuff going on in my life personally that I don't know when the next season will start, but it will happen. Just be patient and keep out for our social media so that I will keep everybody posted. But yeah, Maddie, I'm glad that you got to be on this finale with us.
Me too. And I'm going to do my best to be there for the premiere of season 5. So
Yay. I know. We'll make it work. And if not, I mean, you'll always be there for the summaries.
Yes.
But, you know, like I said, you are my
still
favorite
here.
co-host. So whenever you can come, it'll be
Yes.
great and it'll be nice.
Yes, I'll be here when I can be, obviously.
Yes, of course. But Killian comes first, and that's that.
Yep. It is what it is.
Yeah. So love that so much. And I think that's it. Did you have any other thoughts?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, everybody. Well, we hope you have a nice, like, kind of start to your spring and summer. And, well, I guess spring's over.
Summer,
Well,
really, yeah. Huh?
yeah. Because, like, Memorial. Oh, my God. Last thing I'll say. I saw that somebody was, like, the maintenance people were cleaning my apartment pool. And I was like, oh, that's wild. I guess they're just trying to, like, maintain it over the off season. And I was like, I thought about it for a second. And I was like, Memorial Day is literally in, like, 2 weeks. Like, a week and a half.
Yeah. Isn't that
Like,
crazy?
what? It's bizarre. And it's like wild because half of me is like, like this year's been moving so fast, but at the same time, I'm like, is this year over yet?
Yeah.
Like, personally, I'm just like, are we done? I'm
Yeah.
good. Like, this year kind of sucks, to be completely honest. For me. So
Yeah.
I am hoping that and I've talked to some people who I know it sucked for them too. So just praying for everybody out there. We're all just doing our best, man.
Yeah. That's real. That's real.
So,
to
all you can
everybody
do.
trying their best.
Yep, that's it. Cheers to you guys. And cheers to new moms all around the world.
Thank you. Yay.
Yay. All right, guys. Well, if you have any other questions, let us know. But for now, we will see you next time. And keep watching Parks and Rec, spreading the joy. Share this with a friend. And talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.